guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well today. So I am back today for another monthly favorites video. It is the 1st of May today, so I wanted to share with you guys some things that I have been loving over the past month. And if you're new to my channel, I usually do a little wrap-up video at the end of every month, just showing you some different things that I was into, just as if we were a couple of friends catching up on things that we were doing over the past couple of weeks. So it's usually a really random mix of things, and this month is no different. I have a list here on my laptop of all of the things that I've been doing, some different books I've read, and just different things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into what I've been loving over the month of April. So let's start out this month with a little bit of a reading update. And I have actually been listening to a lot of audiobooks over the past month because I run an Etsy shop. And so when I'm working on projects for my Etsy shop, I'm usually listening to audiobooks. So I've gotten through a few this past month that I really liked. And the first one is called The Tipping Point. That is by Malcolm Gladwell. And if you're not familiar with Malcolm Gladwell, he writes some really interesting books. They're usually trying to kind of exemplify a principle through a bunch of different stories and data. So they make for great random conversations because you pick up on so many random different situations, which I really like about them. I usually have to take them a little bit at a time and I don't read them super often. It's kind of like once or twice a year, one of those is enough for me. But The Tipping Point was really interesting. The idea of that one is the small things that add up to create big things. And it actually went into a lot of different epidemics, which seemed very timely. So I found that one really interesting and really enjoyed listening to it. It kind of went into both good and bad outcomes of these small actions. So if you're interested in something like that, I would recommend that one. And then the next one that I listened to was The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. And this one I've heard about for so long. It seemed like for a while, everyone on the internet was talking about this book, and I just kind of dismissed it as something that was going to tell me to get rid of a lot of stuff, which is something that I'm actually very fond of doing. But I found it actually really eye-opening and interesting once I read the actual material or listened to the actual material, because I am somebody who's very disorganized by nature, but I have no problem with getting rid of stuff. So it was kind of like a dichotomy in my mind of I have no problem throwing things away, but it seems like there's always more. And Marie Kondo actually went into that same concept in the book, saying that was something that she had dealt with a lot. She was always fine with getting rid of stuff, but it just seemed like she couldn't keep it under control. So if you're like that, you might find it really helpful. I definitely have. Kind of the main principle of the book is a place for everything and everything in its place, which is not what I expected from just the persona that the book has online. So I really enjoyed it, and it definitely helped me to put my space in a little bit better order. So I've been working on going through how she describes kind of tidying in the book over the past few weeks, and I've had a lot of success with it. So if you're like me and you're naturally disorganized but don't want to be that way, you might find it really helpful, because I definitely did. And then switching gears just a little bit, still in the book world, but also in the language study world, I have been working on The Phantom of the Opera, but in French this month. So I have the English copy and the French copy, and I also have the French audio copy. And I studied French for 4 years in both high school and college, and I haven't really been into it for a very long time. But recently I've been thinking about how I would really like to get it to a conversational level with it, because I do have a lot of grammatical knowledge with it, and also did some conversation studies when I was younger. So it's something that I've been thinking about working on. So I've decided during this summer that I'm really going to put in the time and effort to try and work on it. So reading and listening to books has been really interesting for me, because I haven't done much long form study of content with French. So it's been really fun just to see how much I can understand, and then kind of comparing to the English version. So I've been really enjoying that. And then along with that, I've also been using Duolingo with French, which is a language learning app if you're not familiar with it. And it's a decent app. It's not like amazing, but it definitely helps with practicing vocabulary. And then other than that, I've also been watching French shows on Netflix. So that's been really fun. So I'm just trying to consume a lot of content in French right now. I'm more interested in trying to learn better how to understand and both speak in French. So I'm working on that. And I'm also really looking forward to seeing how much progress I can make over the summer. So if you guys speak multiple languages, let me know what your best advice is down in a comment below. Most of my friends are multilingual, and so I always feel kind of like the odd one out because I just speak English. So I'm trying to get to where I can speak at least 2 languages, but I think it will take me a lot of study and time, but I'm working on it. So it's been really fun to work on just reading something in another language. And it's really fun to see how my progress kind of adjusts over time and how much I can understand comparatively as I go through it. So other than French Netflix, I've also watched part of a series over the past month called America in Color, which is on Amazon, and it's really interesting. It's a documentary style show, and each episode is one decade of the 1900s, so like the 1920s, 1930s, and so on and so forth. But what it is colorized footage of those decades and just going through what was happening in American history at the time. So if you enjoy history, it's a really interesting series. It's really well narrated and very engaging with the content, but it's also so fun to see this archival footage of these different events throughout history. It incorporates different people's home movies that happen to have very important historical figures in them. So if you like that sort of thing, it's really entertaining. I've only watched, I think, 2 or 3 episodes so far, but it's really fun and very interesting. And I like seeing how that footage kind of comes alive when it's colorized. My sister recommended this one to me, and I definitely have enjoyed it. Let's talk a little bit about running. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know I've been doing Couch to 5K, and about 2 weeks ago, I actually finally finished Couch to 5K, which was so exciting for me because that had been a goal of mine for a very long time, and I finally stuck with it long enough to get the full 5K in one of my runs, so that was very exciting. So I have recently downloaded the same app's 5K to 10K version, so I'm working on that right now. And so far, it's not any kind of big jump ahead from what I was doing in the Couch to 5K, so it's kind of the same principle. But I'm going to keep using those workouts for a while and see how that goes. But yeah, I was so excited to actually have finished the 5K. I can't believe I've finally checked that off of my list. This is kind of a random favorite, but I've been so into sheet masks recently. And I think I said in a video a long time ago that I didn't really get the idea of sheet masks. And a lot of you commented and were like, oh, just wait, you'll get really into them. And I have, definitely. So these are from, what is the brand called? ESW Beauty. And I first got one of these in a subscription box, and I liked it so much that I ordered a whole bunch of them. And I have 2 different ones. This is the pineapple, kiwi, pear, and ginger, and then the coconut, vanilla bean, strawberry, and almond milk. So this one is like really brightening, and then this one is more soothing and moisturizing, but I like them a lot. I definitely notice a difference in my skin when I'm using these. So I like to put these on in the evenings if I'm watching a TV show or something and just leave them on for like half an hour. And yeah, I'm a really big fan of how they are very soothing and definitely make a difference in my skin. And then let's talk just a little bit about some sewing projects. So over the past month, I have had a lot of Etsy orders, which has been absolutely amazing. And I'm so grateful for that. If you guys have bought anything from my shop, thank you. It's awesome. But one of the kind of effects of having a lot of Etsy orders is that I don't get to sew so much for myself because that time is all used for Etsy. So I have a couple of things that I'm wanting to make this month, and I got some new fabric. I did a Joann curbside pickup the other day, which worked really well. So if you guys need anything from Joann's, I recommend trying out that service. But I got this fabric, which is so pretty. It's like a faux linen rayon fabric that is polka dotted, and I just love the colors in this. It reminds me of a lot of things I saw in summer clothes last year that I really liked. So I'm wanting to make a dress out of this, and it's just such a cool light fabric. So I'm really excited to see what I can come up with for this one. And then I also found some fabric in my fabric stash recently that I've had for a long time that is this striped linen blend. So I'm wanting to make some like summery paper bag style shorts out of this, and I have a pattern in mind for them. I think they'll be really, really cute. So that is on my to-do list for the next month. And then speaking of sewing, this is May, and if you guys are familiar with Me Made May, it's a thing online where people wear something that they've made every day for the month of May. And I'm not really sure where it started, so if I can find that information, I'll link to it down below. But I'm wanting to do that this year, so I'm starting out today, my first day, with just a t-shirt that I've made. So we'll see how that goes. That is in my plan for the month. So I might need to sew myself a few more things to carry my outfits over for the full month. So we'll see how that goes. And I'll definitely update you guys with a video of the different outfits as I go through the month. So I think that is everything that I really had to share with you guys today. I know this video was a little bit all over the place. It always feels that way to me, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just like getting to share these random things with you guys. So let me know some things that you guys have been doing or been really interested in over the past month. I would love to hear that down in a comment below. And if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to go ahead and subscribe by clicking that red button down below. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers, which is kind of blowing my mind. So thank you guys so much for subscribing and sticking around on my channel and watching my videos. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed this one today, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.
Let the sun shine on the broken. Let the sun